These are 10 of the best Reverend Lovejoy moments. Homer becomes religious in his own way, and he becomes a proud owner of the Springfield Church. Pray Anything opens with Homer asking Flanders how come good things always happen to him and his life is so perfect. Ned told him that besides other things, there is always a little prayer involved.
So that's all it takes. A little prayer.
No, that's not all it takes. How does he always choose to get things the wrong way? The next day, Homer was watching TV and he wanted to change the channel, but he couldn't find the remote.
Well, if I don't have the remote, I can just get up and change the channel. Oh!
Yeah, 'cause that's so scary. Homer says he'll just do what Ned does, pray to God to help him.
It worked! I got my wish! From now on, I'll pray till my hands are chapped and bleeding.
What does praying have to do with hands? Homer starts praying for everything he needs the slightest bit of help for, and Marge tells him he shouldn't be doing that.
Can and will. Now to unstop this sink. Lord.
Yeah, because being all-powerful definitely means that God is also a plumber. But turns out the family has a big plumbing problem and no money to fix it. So on Sunday, when they were going to church, Homer prayed to God to fix his house, or make him a new one. And then he fell. Lucky for him, a lawyer was there to help him out.
So that's your answer. I'll sue the church.
That's how you thank the big man upstairs for finding you that remote? Homer goes to trial against the First Church of Springfield and he wins, but there's a bit of a problem.
Your Honor, we don't have that kind of money. We're not a synagogue.
Oh, Lovejoy. Always spot on. The judge says that they will then give Homer the deed to the church. Lovejoy can't believe they're giving Homer the church, but Homer says that the judge isn't the one who's giving him anything.
God is, because I prayed for it.
Dad, I think this might be the work of Satan.
It's all good.
Yeah, for you. So the Simpsons move into the church, and Homer says he's gonna throw the best housewarming party the church has ever seen. When his friends come, they ask about where Marge is.
She went to Lovejoy's temporary church. She's worried about her immortal soul.
Temporary church?
He said to his disciples,
"In your face, best way linen supply!"
Because that's definitely something God would say. But after the sermon, Lovejoy told Marge that there's no place for him here, and he left Springfield.
Springfield is still grappling tonight with the departure of Reverend Timothy Lovejoy, local Bible nut.
Bible nut? Really? Not man of God? Not, I don't know, something less offensive? But nonetheless, Homer continued having his parties, and Marge had to come up and say,
Homer, aren't you afraid you might be, I don't know, incurring God's wrath?
God's cool.
when has God ever been cool? And at that moment, rain started to pour.
Your flood has driven us to the roof of your church. Surely this has proven whatever point you had.
Yeah, I don't think God's gonna be hearing any more of Homer's prayers.
Dad, maybe you should stop praying. See if that makes it happy.
This heretic has doomed us all!
And here come the pitchforks. Everyone ganged up on Homer when...
Please spare this sinful town. They were misled by a demon in blue pants.
Hey, demon in blue pants seems far less insulting to me than Bible nut. But this Bible nut hasn't been the greatest husband to his wife. Homer, Lovejoy, and Apu get a suspicious letter from Moe and start contemplating their marriages. Moe Letter Blues opens with Moe sending a letter to Homer, Reverend Lovejoy, and Apu, in which he tells them that one of their wives is leaving them and going away with Moe.
So I guess the question is, which one of our wives got mojacked?
I'll be the first to say, Helen. They can't reach their wives because they're all on a cruise with their children while their wives are at home. So the question remained, whose wife is leaving for Moe, of all people? Reverend Lovejoy says it can't be Helen because...
When we just started a new jigsaw puzzle last week, we're still on the edges.
I think that can be looked upon like a problem. Homer says that he and Marge don't have any problems and that they don't even fight anymore. Apu and Tim tell Homer that when a woman is peaceful and content, that means all hell is about to break loose.
When did you first realize Marge was checked out like a Harry Potter book at the public library?
Reverend's got some jokes up his sleeve. Homer thought back to the night of Marge's mother's birthday and how Marge begged him to help her, but Homer told Moe he needed a drink.
Something strong enough that I forget I hate them, but not so strong that I tell them I love them.
I don't think there's anything that specific. Moe told him he wasn't serving alcohol, and Homer told Marge that that was crazy.
This is my mother's 80th birthday party, and you're not ruining it.
Hey, it's better to be prepared. But not even 10 minutes into the party, Patty and Selma started bullying and demeaning Homer, so he told them to...
Go ugly up someone else's house, you penis-curling she-devils!
Honestly, he could have said something a lot worse. Patty and Selma left, but Marge only heard Homer's part of the conversation.
Every time I plan something that means something to me, you somehow mess it up.
So, after telling that story, Homer thinks it must be his wife that ran away with Moe. Reverend Lovejoy tells him that they still don't know for sure if it's Marge. It could be Manjula.
My marriage is solid. Manjula would never cheat on me like I cheated on... oh boy.
Yeah, maybe you should rethink that.
Now, was there ever a time when your wife might have found comfort in Moe's hairy arms?
Reverend Lovejoy is moderating this conversation exceptionally well for someone whose wife might be running off with the devil man himself. Apu thinks back to a night when he and Manjula went to Moe's to change their kids because of the rain. They started fighting over whose fault that was, and when they got home, they saw that they were missing one child.
How could you forget your own child?
Well, how could you forget your own child?
You're both at fault here, no need to get angry. At that moment, Moe called Apu to let him know that he has one of his children, and when he and Manjula started fighting over who needs to pick the baby up, Manjula said,
What a great father, I say sarcastically.
Apu said that that's all he knows, but Homer said he knows more. That night, he was at Moe's and he heard Moe and Manjula talking. She said she had a very rough day, and Moe said he has something that might cheer her up.
I got this for women that came to the bar and low-blow boxing for the guys.
Moe's really taking care of his business. Apu says that they can't be sure that Lovejoy's wife isn't the one shacking up with Moe.
Yeah, Padre. How innocuous are your flashbacks?
Well,
Reverend Lovejoy remembered that he and Helen started a fight after seeing Homer and Marge fighting, and Reverend said he's glad the two of them never argue like that.
Yes, to argue, you have to actually talk to each other.
way to bitch up the conversation, Helen.
Wow, the Reverend is using tough words. Then Tim's spiritual advisor came up to him and said he noticed that he and Helen have problems, to which Tim disagreed. But the man told him to try and take his thumb and put it over her mouth.
See? Looks like that she-cano is about to blow.
And then Apu said he heard Helen and Moe talking. Moe told her that...
Well, there's this married woman that I have feelings for.
What's with Moe and married women? Helen asked Moe if she knows this woman, and he said...
I'm sure you do.
Oh.
What's so damn funny? No, I mean...
And she touched his knee? How dare she? The men came back to Springfield, and as Otto is dropping them off one by one, they were dreading what they'll see when they came home. Homer sees Marge's shadow as she's packing, so all of them think she's the wife leaving with Moe.
Marge, no! Stop packing your painting supply.
I'm confused. Turns out Marge isn't leaving him. Her mom explained what happened at the party, how Patty and Selma got the best of Homer. Next up, Reverend Lovejoy. He got inside and saw Helen had 2 tickets to Istanbul. She said she's taking the bags and walking out the door.
Meanwhile, you'll be setting the alarm and then you'll join me in the cab.
You're leaving with me?
Shocker. I know. Your wife loves you. So it must be Apu, right? He got into his apartment where he saw Manjula sitting with Moe.
This man has come here to convince me to do something I never thought I would do. Stay with you.
Okay, now I'm completely lost. Apu asked Moe why he wrote that horrible letter, and Moe said that when he saw how much trouble their marriages were in, he had to act fast.
I got Marge's mother to go to Marge, convinced Helen to ride the rails of romance with the Padre.
Maybe God works fast, but Moe works faster. Moe tells them that he wrote that letter.
So you 3 chumps would realize that you have not been treating your wives the way they deserve.
Moe, the great ladies' man. Too bad he doesn't have someone to call his own. But when all else is lost, you can always turn to God. Doesn't matter which one. Or does it? Bart wants to convert to Catholicism, but Marge and Lovejoy aren't about to let that happen. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Guest Star opens with Bart being expelled from Springfield Elementary for a prank he didn't actually do. Now he's forced to change schools, and it's hard to find one that will take him in. Marge finds a pamphlet for St. Jerome's Catholic School, and she thinks it'd be a good fit. Plus, Catholic schools are more affordable.
That'll straighten you out, boy. There, you don't just get bad grades. You go to hell.
That's not really how it works, Homer. On his first day at his new school, Bart didn't really make a great impression, and as punishment, he had to hold up 2 dictionaries until the teacher saw fit.
Stupid Catholic school, suffering from my hip attitude. I'm the real Jesus here.
So your solution is seeking sacrilege. Nice. Father Sean introduces himself, and he tells Bart he used to be just like him. But then he had a vision of St. Peter, and he joined the church. He gave Bart a Christian comic book and said he should read it before he makes his decision about Catholicism. Bart came home very excited about his new school and Father Sean.
Catholics rock!
This makes Marge worry, and she tells Bart that he shouldn't get too much into that Catholic church thing.
Mom, that's blasphemy. I'll say a rosary for you.
Don't you touch much bead want?
Marge, it's still Christianity, lighten up. Homer doesn't like this either, especially when he heard that Catholics don't eat meat on Fridays. He went to Bart's new school to have him pulled out, but when he got there, Father Sean invited him in for pancake night. After talking for a bit, Homer learned that his sins can be absolved in the sacrament of confession.
No matter what I did, no matter how many people lost their pensions, it's forgiven like that.
Father Sean, you better be prepared for some messed up things. Homer said his long list of devious deeds, and now, in his words, he's clean.
I can only absolve you if you're a Catholic.
Right, and how do I join? Do I wail on some Unitarians?
I mean, you could. Homer came home in the morning, which means he's been out all night, and Marge was waiting for him.
You look like you've accepted someone as your personal something.
Homer says he knows he was supposed to yell at the pastor, but he was very cool. Marge told him she knew they'd try to convert him, and...
Well, I'm not having another 12 kids.
Marge, no one is saying 12, 9, 10 tops. See?
Okay, Homer, dial it back a little. The news about Marge's son and husband changing faiths traveled quickly, so now she's going to church alone. Reverend Lovejoy asked her why is she alone, and she said that Homer and Bart are feeling under the weather.
Under the weather. Or under the spell of a man in a pointy white hat.
Lovejoy isn't about to let another religion take part of his flock. Marge, Lovejoy, and Ned have an emergency meeting, and Marge says that it is good that they have taken an interest in spirituality.
Oh, spirituality is great, Marge. Hey, I'm Mr. Spiritual.
Are you really, though? But Reverend Lovejoy tells Marge she needs to keep in mind that a different religion means a different afterlife. Marge won't take that chance, and Lovejoy assures her that they will get her boy back. A waitress came by to refill their coffees, and Lovejoy told her that it better be decaf.
Or does under-tipping make you colorblind?
Her husband sleeping with her sister. Who said that?
So much for that sacred confession. They get to the school and see that Bart and Homer are getting ready for their first communion.
Once they seal the deal, there's no turning back. Just like the Jews with their snippety-snip.
I see a lot of fear towards other religions here. Marge barges in and practically kidnaps Bart. Marge tells Homer that he's an adult and she can't control what he does in the privacy of his own soul, but...
I didn't change Bart's diapers for 5 years to see him become a Catholic.
Wait. For 5 years? They put Bart in a van and drove away. Bart told Marge he doesn't understand her because she was always whining about wanting Bart to be more interested in church, and now that he is, it's the wrong one. Marge told him she just doesn't think Homer is the right person to pick a religion for him.
Okay, I'll pick a religion for me. Judaism. Don't have...
Okay, let's put the chloroform down. Lovejoy says that they're here to bring him back to the one true faith.
The Western branch of American Reformed Presbyterianism.
You know, the fact that the faith has such a long name kind of makes you believe it isn't really the one true faith. Homer calls Marge and tells her to bring Bart home immediately, but Marge says she's going to show Bart that Protestants can be fun too. Homer says that he and Bart should be able to pick their own religion, and Lisa says she agrees, and she knows where Marge took Bart.
We can't lose Bart now that we're so close. If I do, I'll be the worst priest ever. Well, except for, you know.
Yeah, we don't have to discuss that. Marge took Bart to a Protestant fair, and he actually had fun playing paintball. But then Homer and Father Sean showed up.
We'll show your mother our God kicks her God's butt.
Back off, you servants of the Holy See.
Now this is just beyond funny to see. Bart stopped them and said,
It's all Christianity, people. The little stupid differences are nothing next to the big stupid similarities.
Amen, Bart. But I guess it's normal to sometimes lose sight of what's really important. A new reverend comes to Springfield and takes Lovejoy's spot. Pulpit Friction opens with the Simpsons ordering a new couch online from New York. And with it came bed bugs.
New cushions smell.
I'm gonna put all my stuffed animals on it.
That just makes my skin crawl. Soon, the bed bugs spread in Springfield and everyone's wondering where they came from. Homer says it's probably one of Bart's friends.
Boy, why are your friends so dirty?
Dunno. Why are your friends such drunks?
Touché, Bart. People start turning on each other, but Reverend Lovejoy comes out to try and bring some guidance and peace to everyone. But it doesn't work. Then the parson comes in and he says he brought some backup for Tim.
I think I'm more than capable of handling this.
Need I remind you of the bingo riot last summer?
Gee, Reverend, what did you do? The parson introduces Reverend Lovejoy to Reverend Hooper. He's a young man who seems to hold all the answers in movie and TV show references. Reverend Hooper tells the people not to waste their time listening to him on Sundays. Instead,
go home and watch one of the Die Hard movies on TV.
If you say so, Reverend.
Can you believe this guy, Helen? Hey, Helen?
I guess Helen found a new pastor.
This is the worst 17th Sunday in ordinary time ever.
Poor Lovejoy. People always try and usurp his spot. The new Reverend asks Homer to be his deacon because he thinks that if he can get the man who sleeps through church to be his guy,
this town will know that religion can be fun.
I mean, it is a good strategy, but are you sure you want to make church fun? Next Sunday, Reverend Hooper was doing the sermon, while Lovejoy was just in the background trying to sing a song, but without success.
Don't think there's a place for me here anymore. Heading for the door, pushing the handle.
I think you might as well just walk out, because they don't seem one bit interested.
Twisted ankle. Tremendous pain. Keep it elevated.
Why do I always end up feeling bad for him? Bart can't believe Homer's becoming a man of church, but Homer tells him he finally believes in something bigger than himself. Bart tells him that the only thing bigger than him is him tomorrow.
Mustn't kill own son. Only God can do that.
At least something good came out of it. Bart wants to bring Lovejoy back, and he teams up with Ned Flanders.
Well, let's face it. I wasn't cut out for that job. Nobody listened.
And selling hot tubs is what you're cut out for.
Sorry, Ned. I finally found my calling.
Again, selling hot tubs. Since this plan failed, Bart decided to take a more biblical turn. He and Milhouse took the dead bedbugs and made a trail out of them so the frogs could follow it into town, basically installing a plague on Springfield.
In times like this, there's one almighty being we can put our faith in, Reverend Hooper!
Yeah, let's see what reference he pulls out now. But people don't have the patience for references. They need help.
Video games. Twitter. How to Train Your Dragon.
Those aren't gonna help you now. But then, a hot tub rolled in.
He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul.
Finally, a reverend that knows his Bible. Reverend's words made the frogs fall asleep.
Its boringness saved us all.
Lovejoy! Lovejoy! Lovejoy!
Well, it was either his words or the fact that they just ate all the bedbugs in Springfield. But every pastor needs his alone time, especially when he's got Ned Flanders calling him 24/7. Ned Flanders learns that the Simpsons kids aren't baptized, so he takes it upon himself to do it. Home Sweet Home Diddly Dum Doodly opens with Homer and Marge taking a spa day and leaving the house in a big mess, but they say they'll clean it up after they get back. Big mistake. Meanwhile, Bart's class is having picture day, and as his teacher was making sure the kids looked good, she saw that Bart had lice.
What kind of parents would permit such a lapse in scalpel hygiene?
You'll yet better check out his sister.
This is about to get a whole lot worse. Skinner invites Lisa to come in, and she had just been bullied by some girls who took her shoes, so she doesn't look great either.
Principal Skinner, I need some shoes.
Sweet Georgia Brown, something is rotten at the Simpson house.
Yeah, and Maggie is alone with Grandpa, so that's gonna be fun too. Skinner calls social services, who come to inspect the house, and they have a lot to take in.
Trash not taken out, living room a mess, stacks of old newspapers from 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was supposed to be for a school project.
Oh my lord!
Stupid babies need the most attention.
This really isn't looking good for Marge and Homer. Homer and Marge come home, and the social workers told them that they're taking away their children and putting them in a foster home.
Welcome to your new home, neglectorinos.
Kids, meet your new foster family.
That's more like a prison than a family.
He leave you to kids for 3 hours and the county takes them away?
Oh, bitch, bitch, bitch.
Grandpa, that might have been okay back in the day, but kids get taken away for a lot less today. Homer and Marge try calling the kids, but
The number you have dialed can no longer be reached from this phone. You negligent monster.
wow, county really works hard. Marge and Homer go to the judge to beg for their kids back, and she tells them they need to go to parenting class before that can happen. Meanwhile, Maggie is having the time of her life at the Flanders. The kids say that they never heard Maggie laugh like that before.
Well, when was the last time Dad gave her that kind of attention?
Oh, that's really sad. Both the kids and Homer and Marge are finding this to be really hard, and they miss each other. The next day, Ned suggested that they should play Bombardment of Bible Questions.
Tail made out of snakes? Who else is it gonna be?
Jesus?
Jeez!
Oh, come on, Ned, calm down. Not everyone knows the Bible by heart. Maud says that this is the kind of thing they should start learning at baptism, but Lisa says they were never baptized.
Nettie? Nettie? Nettie?
Now they've killed Flanders. Ned gets up and calls the Reverend immediately.
Reverend, emergency. You see, Simpson kids, Italy, baptism.
Okay, Ned, one word at a time.
Ned, have you thought about one of the other major religions? They're all pretty much the same.
How much has he been calling Lovejoy when that's his answer to his problem? And to top it all off, Lovejoy's train crashed.
Damn Flanders.
Indeed. Ned says he's gonna have to baptize the kids himself. They left the house just as Homer and Marge got ready to pick up their kids.
It's going to baptize our children?
Oh no, in the eyes of God, they'll be Flanderses.
Well, if you care so much about that, why didn't you baptize them yourself? Homer and Marge got into the car to stop Ned from baptizing their children.
Easy, easy. Oh, why do you hate my train?
Poor Tim, the one thing he actually does care about. And just as Ned was about to complete the first baptism, Homer jumped in to save Bart.
How do you feel?
Oh, Bartholomew, I feel like St. Augustine of Hippo.
He knows who that is? But sometimes you need to think outside the Bible to help someone in your flock. Right, Tim? Homer joins a cult, and Marge needs help from Reverend Lovejoy to set him free. The Joy of Sect starts with Homer getting a pamphlet for Movementarian, a church, or sect rather, that follows the leader. But most important of all, they offer a free stay. Homer goes to spend a weekend there, and he isn't really interested in the whole membership thing. He really just wants to exploit them for a free stay. But the man and the woman leading this weekend aren't gonna give up that easily.
The leader knows how miserable you, Marge, Lisa, Bart, and Maggie are.
Really? I'm surprised about Maggie.
You're not surprised they know their names? They invite Homer to watch an orientation movie, and he's never gonna reject a free movie, so he sits through the 6 hours of explaining the movementarian ideology.
So the cops knew that Internal Affairs was setting them up?
What are you talking about?
Homer said that when he gets bored, he makes up his own movie.
I have a very short attention span.
But our point is very simple. You see, when...
Oh, look, a bird!
Yeah, he's gonna be tough to break. Then they put Homer in the circle of judgment, so other people can judge him and destroy his self-esteem. But there's nothing they could say that Homer hasn't heard 100 times already. Then they try to wear him down with their low-protein gruel.
It doesn't wear down your resistance if you eat a whole month's supply. He even ate mine.
They really don't know who they're dealing with. But in the end, the thing that broke Homer was a repetitive chant. So when Homer went home...
You what?
I've joined a movementarian, and so have all of you.
We what?
There's no turning back now. The news of this sect spread like wildfire, but nobody's there to hear it since they already joined the movementarians.
This so-called new religion is nothing but a pack of weird rituals and chants.
Don't let the irony get lost on you. The family is now living with the cult, and they're harvesting crops as their job now. But then the leader drove by.
We toil in the fields and he rides around in a Rolls Royce?
Yes, it would be nice if he'd buy American.
I don't think that was Lisa's point. Since Marge couldn't convince her family that this is all wrong, she managed to escape and seek help outside.
Oh, I never thought I'd have to do this again.
Sorry, Marge, again? Lovejoy says he will help, and so will Willie.
I'll kidnap him for 50, deprogram him for 100, and I'll kill him for 500.
No, just the first 2.
Wow, he's really affordable. The next day, the leader drove by again, but he picked up Homer and the kids.
Marge? You're the leader?
No, but wouldn't that be nice? Reverend tries to knock Homer out, but...
Oh, the devil has given him superhuman strength.
Ow!
Well, that didn't do it, Mr. Kilt.
Wouldn't chloroform have been easier? Marge manages to break the kids pretty easily, but Homer's tough to break. He even managed to get Willie to believe in the leader instead of the other way around.
Would you like a tall, frosty one, Homer?
No, must resist temptation.
If you can't resist the temptation when Marge begs you to, what makes you think you can now?
Go on, Homer. Our commandments clearly state that beer is all right. Try some.
Those commandments really bend at will. A drop of beer hits Homer's lips just as the movementarians find them and take him away.
I'm glad I'm back. Because the moment that sweet, sweet beer hit my tongue, I was born again!
Homer says that now he can tell everyone the reason they're not allowed in the Forbidden Barn is because there's no spaceship actually in there. But as he opened the door, he saw a big spaceship.
Homer Simpson, because of your lack of faith, you've ruined mankind's chance for salvation.
That seems pretty convenient.
No mercy, he's the real deal.
Now, come on, Reverend, is your faith really that superficial? But a few seconds into the flight, the spaceship fell apart, and the leader was revealed. Ned asked Tim if that was his collar on the ground.
Yes. How did that get down there? Come back to Papa, baby.
And he's back. And just like the commandments bend at Tim's will, so do the rules of the Bible. Reverend Lovejoy tells Marge she should get a divorce after Homer continuously lied to her. Secrets of a Successful Marriage opens with Homer becoming a night teacher, and his class is, you'll never believe, how to have a successful marriage. But since he isn't a teacher, this doesn't really go smoothly, because he doesn't know what to talk about. Plus, his marriage isn't really the best example. But to keep his students, Homer began to talk to them him about his love life with Marge.
Could save some money if she only dyed her hair once a month.
Marge dyes her hair?
Oh, he's a dead man. The next day, Marge was at the Quickie Mart and Apu told her they have a discount on blue hair dye.
Whatever do you mean? I don't dye my hair.
Homer's gonna be a single man very soon. That night, Marge told Homer not to tell personal stuff about them in class. But the next class rolled around and all his students wanted to hear about was his and Marge's personal life. So Homer decided to make up a couple and tell their personal stories.
It seems she goes wild with desire if her husband nibbles on her elbow.
Hair dye is one thing, but this is just crossing every line.
Mr. X would say, Marge, if this doesn't get your motor running, my name isn't Homer J. Simpson.
So much for anonymity. The next day, Homer brought his class to his house without consulting Marge about it. Marge wasn't very happy about this, and she kept telling Homer she wanted it to end.
Hey, Homer, why don't you just nibble her elbow? That always melts her butter, right?
And hellfire broke loose. Marge kicked everyone out, including Homer. She told him she couldn't trust him anymore, and he slept in the treehouse that night. But then, the next morning, Homer saw Reverend Lovejoy and his wife come over. Homer thought to himself that the Reverend will make Marge take him back, because
he has to push the sanctity of marriage, or his God will punish him.
Get a divorce.
Homer, I wouldn't bet on that if I were you. Marge said she thought divorce is considered a sin. Reverend Lovejoy told Marge that just about anything is a sin.
You ever sat down and read this thing? Technically, we're not allowed to go to the bathroom.
Okay, the Reverend is speaking hard truth here. The day went on and Marge said she misses Homer and that everything reminded her of him, but she couldn't take him back. Meanwhile, Homer has found a replacement for her.
I've created a replacement that's superior to her in almost every way.
Dad, that's just a plan.
So that's what would happen if Marge actually left him. Lisa tells Homer he can't make Marge love him. He has to show her the reason she loves him and has stayed with him for all these years. But you know how Homer is with coming up with ideas.
A bouquet of Oh, I give up. I don't deserve to live with you.
Oh, come on, you didn't even try. As he was leaving, he caught himself on the coffee table and Marge helped cut him loose.
I know now what I can offer you that no one else can. Complete and utter dependence.
That's not a good thing. Homer said it is a marvelous thing because no one in the world needs Marge more than he does, but Marge tells him she can't trust him.
We've been separated for a day, and I'm as dirty as a Frenchman. In another few hours, I'll be dead.
That can't be argued with.
I must admit, you really do make a gal feel needed.
Wait till my class hears about this. Kidding!
Too soon, Homer, too soon. Men of God shouldn't lie. You know, that's a given, but sometimes it just slips out. Bart finds out the truth about an old Springfield holiday. Whacking Day opens with Bart being expelled from school because he hit Superintendent Chalmers with Willie's lawnmower and cost Skinner his promotion. Since no school will take him, Marge has decided to homeschool him. Meanwhile, Whacking Day is approaching, and you might be wondering, what is Whacking Day? Well, according to a tradition that dates back to the founding father Jebediah Springfield, every May 10th, local residents gather
to drive snakes into the center of town and whack them to snake heaven.
Seems perfectly normal for Springfield. Lisa thinks it's barbaric.
Inside every man is a struggle between good and evil that cannot be resolved.
Maybe it cannot be resolved inside you, Homer. Meanwhile, Marge is actually doing a great job getting Bart interested in schoolwork. He really liked reading history books, so Marge decided to take him on a trip to old Springfield town.
Hello, Barney. Are you playing the town drunk?
Actually, I'm supposed to be the governor.
Well, he embodies the role quite well. But while they were holding a presentation of Jebediah Springfield's accomplishment, Bart noticed something.
And here he is, killing a snake on the very first whacking day in 1775.
Bart says that was the same day Jebediah was in battle. As far as my history knowledge knows, a man can't be in two different places at the same time.
I'll blow the whole deal. Get him out of here.
Bart just found out something big. Meanwhile, Lisa is still trying to make peace with Whacking Day, but there isn't much peace to be found.
Whack ye all the serpents which crawl on their bellies, and thy town shall be a beacon unto others.
Is there a passage in the Bible for every holiday?
So you see, Lisa, even God himself endorses Whacking Day.
Let me see that.
No.
Reverend, she can read you like a book, even though you seem like a holy book. Whacking Day comes and Homer is getting ready, but Lisa comes to beg him one more time.
Lisa, maybe if I'm part of that mob, I can help steer it in wise directions.
Yeah, like his directions are ever wise. Lisa told Bart that if the snakes were in their house, they could protect them. Bart said that he read in a book that snakes hear by sensing vibrations in the ground, so...
If we put our stereo speakers on the ground and play something with a lot of bass...
Bart actually has a good, applicable idea. I'm shocked. They do just that, and the snakes all gather at their house. Bart stood in front of all the people and said,
Whacking Day is a sham! It was started in 1924 as an excuse to beat up the Irish.
Wow, anything to get those Irish people.
Bart, I'm very impressed at the independent learning you've displayed here.
Thanks, Seymour.
Skinner says that as a reward for his studying,
I've decided to welcome you back to our school.
And all it took was one history lesson. But sometimes being a preacher isn't enough. You have to win your people over. Reverend Lovejoy is on a mission to convert people into Protestantism, and first on the list is Crusty the Clown. The nightmare after Christmas starts a few days before Christmas, and Marge noticed that the church was kind of empty.
I hope the Reverend isn't losing his touch.
Comparing the three wise men to the Beastie Boys.
Wow, he really is desperate. After the sermon, Helen told Tim that there's a special club waiting for him.
We're here because you're not packing the pews.
Well, it's less of a club and more like an intervention. Reverend Lovejoy said people have reasons to miss Mass, but Ned Flanders says it's not just about attendance.
Sometimes when you speak, my mind wanders to non-religious areas.
Well, who doesn't get a little bored during church? The parson says that he should admit it. He's in a slump.
How many souls have you personally converted to our faith this year?
-6.
I'm sorry, is this the 13th century or what? Reverend Lovejoy confidently said he can do this.
I'm a good man, and Springfield is nothing if not a good Christian community.
Are you sure about that? Because all that paganism is telling a different story. Meanwhile, Crusty is trying to connect with his daughter on the 1 week a year he has custody of her, but he gets badly injured. That's when he found out that...
Mom raised me Christian.
How can you ignore the sacred traditions of the Jewish people?
I didn't see you living according to those traditions, but okay. The two of them can't seem to connect over anything, and Marge hears that, so she invites them to spend Christmas with them.
A very Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Did you get the shot?
Oh, he brought a camera crew. How sincere. Sophie, Krusty's daughter, doesn't want to be on camera, and Crusty completely neglects her wishes, so she tells him she doesn't want him there, and he needs to leave. Meanwhile, Reverend Lovejoy is bending over backwards to get people to convert, but nobody's in the mood to uproot their life's beliefs.
No, maybe I'm just not cut out for the God game. Maybe I could teach SAT prep.
At least there are answers in the back of that book. Tim walked out of the bathroom at Moe's and he heard Crusty complaining about losing his daughter.
I need something that makes me feel better in my heart.
And I guess there goes our new Christian.
My son, I am here to guide you to the most powerful man in this world or any other.
Crusty seems skeptical, but then he says he sees him.
I am a Christian!
Well, everything can be explained. So, the next Sunday, the Reverend introduced everyone to the newest member of the Christian faith.
Now, I'd like to introduce our newest brother in faith, Crusty the Christian.
Crusty and Christian in the same sentences just doesn't sit right with me. Reverend Lovejoy was feeling really proud of himself for what he did for Crusty.
Well, look at you all cool and collected.
Well, even the Lord rested on Sunday.
Yeah, well, your rest is about to stop. The parson told Tim that Crusty is not theirs until he's baptized.
You have to get his soul and his bank router number on auto pay.
So the money is what this has been about. God forbid it's spreading the Lord's work. Tim says that Crusty wanted to get baptized in the river, but it's frozen, so they have to wait for the ice to melt.
I had you pegged for a closer, Tim.
Okay, so now you're threatening people. That's not very holy of you. So Tim made the baptism happen in the middle of winter, but thankfully, Jasper caught him while fishing.
Lovejoy is a hero! Finally, something I can explain!
But he wasn't such a hero to his daughter. Bart starts dating the Reverend's daughter, but she isn't so sweet and innocent as it seems. Bart's girlfriend opens with Bart meeting Jessica Lovejoy, the Reverend's daughter, and he immediately falls for her. But she's ignoring him. Lisa says that they're just two very different people, and Bart shouldn't expect for Jessica to like him since she's the sweet minister's daughter, and he's basically the spawn of Satan. So Bart came up with a plan.
I'd like to return to your wonderful Sunday school, please.
But Bart, we banned you from Sunday school.
What did he do to that poor woman? But even in Sunday school, Jessica ignored him. Bart was irritated that he spent the entire day behaving so nicely, so he decides to pull a prank on Willie. Unfortunately for him, it was all a scam, so Skinner could give him 3 months detention.
That was really unfair.
Want to have dinner at my house tonight?
Well, that's a turn of events. Bart got ready for his first date and he went to the Lovejoy house. Helen asked him how's school going and she said that Jessica always gets straight A's. Bart says that in his family, grades aren't that important. It's what you learn that counts.
6 times 5, what is it?
Actually, numbers don't have much use in my future career.
But you're not getting out of this one that easily. Bart snaps at Helen and then the Reverend tells him to explain himself. Bart says that he has a short fuse and he tells them an anecdote he heard on Fox last night.
Never have I heard such gratuitous use of the word but.
Make him stop!
Jessica followed Bart outside and she told him she liked that he was bad.
But your father said...
Told the Rev I was going to my room to say my prayers.
Bart, she's gonna be the end of you. Jessica turned out to be more of a troublemaker than Bart, so he was pretty taken aback. Lisa tells Bart he needs to give Jessica up, and Bart tells her he has a plan. Put up with Jessica for 7 more years, then they'll get married.
Once the first baby comes along, she's bound to settle down and start treating me right. After all, I deserve it.
Bart, it saddens me how naive you are. Lisa tells Bart he can't think he can change somebody, so he decides to give Jessica up cold turkey. But that's a bit hard when she's the Reverend's daughter and you have to go to church every Sunday. At church, Bart tries telling Jessica that they shouldn't see each other anymore, and Jessica says that he's right and she should settle down. But then she takes the money from the collection plate.
Jessica, what are you doing?
Well, it takes money to start a new life.
Wow, she's devious. She leaves Bart with the empty plate, so now everyone thinks he's the one who stole the money. No one believes him that he wasn't the one who took the money, so Bart goes to talk to Jessica, who tells him she won't admit it was her. Bart asked her why he should be protecting her when she's acting the way she is, and Jessica says that nobody would believe him.
Remember, I'm the sweet, perfect minister's daughter, and you're just yellow trash.
Wow, Reverend, you really dropped the ball on that one. Lisa tells Bart she will help him, so the next Sunday in church, she stands up in front of everybody and says her brother was falsely accused, and she urges the real criminal to come forward. But after Jessica does nothing, Lisa outs her in front of everyone, and they all run to Jessica's room to see if the money is there. And would you look at that, it's there.
Bart Simpson has somehow managed to sneak his bedroom into my house.
I know this must be disappointing, Reverend, but let's not get delusional here.
I suppose we brought you home from boarding school a little prematurely.
I was expelled, Dad.
Yikes. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a comment down below with your favorite Reverend Lovejoy moment, and don't forget to like and subscribe.